Brothers and sisters, welcome to our today's program. Today we are going to talk about our kiosque du jour, continuing with the third chapter of mapping reports between the period of August 1998 till to January 2010 and My name is Odon Bulamba. I'm going to present to you this program, and together we are going to learn the history of our country. If you do not want to learn history, then you'll get lost in the present time and you'll also get lost in the future. Today we are going to continue talking about the Second War, and we are going to do the part 2 of the Second War. And our focus will be on the provinces of Congo and Kinshasa. Once again, thank you for joining us, and feel free to be a part of us, feel free to be a part of this learning, and become yourself rich as much as you can with the history of the DRC. Before we move on, I would like to share with you our programs. Meaning that on Monday, we'll do the Swahili program. On Tuesdays, it will be Lingala. On Wednesdays, it will be in French. And finally, on Thursdays, our programs will be done in English. Once again, welcome to our program. Let's start with Congo, or Ghana, Congo province. And we are going to talk about the attacks on other civilians' populations. On 4th of August 1998, hundreds of Rwandan soldiers and a small number of Ugandan soldiers under the command of James Kabarebe arrived by plane at the Kitona military base in Muanda from Goma. Soldiers of the ex-FARC stationed on the Kitona base for several months have joined them. In the days that followed, the Rwando-Ugando-Congolese military coalition received reinforcements of several thousand men and began its conquest of Congo via the Muanda, Boma, Matadi axis. Congolese army forces elements, which had many children associated with armed forces and groups, these children were called Kadogo in Swahili, tried to resist, including in Boma and Banzangungu, but they were quickly overwhelmed and many died in the fighting. Throughout their advance toward Kinshasa, the troops of the Rwando-Ugando-Congolese coalition, referred to in the rest of this program as ANC, APR, UPDF, killed many civilians and committed a large number of rapes and looting. In this context, the mapping team documented the following alleged incidents. On 7th August 1998, fighting between ANC, APR, UPDF, and the Congolese Army, FAC, element for control of Boma resulted in the death of an unknown number of civilians, most often victims of stray bullets. Coalition forces killed at least 22 civilians near the central bank and municipal gardens. The victims included gardeners, slaughterhouse workers, 2 mentally handicapped people, and people waiting for a vehicle to travel to Moanda. Between 7 and 10 August 1998, in Boma, elements of the ANC, APR, UPDF kidnapped and raped, often collectively, several women in the Premier Bassin Hotel they had requisitioned. They also caused significant material damage in the hotel. From 4 August to 4 September 1998, ANC, APR, UPDF soldiers systematically looted bank reserves in Moanda, Matadi, and Banza Ngungu. On 13 August 1998, ANC, APR, UPDF soldiers shut down the turbines at the Inga Dam, depriving Kinshasa and much of Bas-Congo province of their main source of electricity for nearly 3 weeks. By putting out of use goods essentials to the survival of the civilian population, they have resulted in the deaths of unknown number of civilians, including children and sick in hospitals. On 17 August 1998, however, the Southern African Development Community, SADC, Summit, Zimbabwe, Angola, and Namibia announced the dispatch of troops to the Democratic Republic of the Congo to support the army that remained loyal to President Kabila. In the days of that followed, ZDF, that is Zimbabwean army, ZDF element deployed to Kinshasa, while the FAA, the Angolan army, launched a ground and air offensive in Bas-Congo. On August 23, the FAA recaptured control of the Kitona base from the ANC, APR, and UPDF. During the advance along the Moanda, Boma, Matadi, Kisantu axis, the FAA killed civilians, committed rapes, and looted hospitals as well as residential homes. When entering a locality, the FAA systematically conducted a sweep and executed anyone they suspected of collusion with their enemies. The FAA took advantage of these operations to rape women and loot homes. The looted goods were then sent to Angola by river, road, even helicopter. The FAA was killing civilians, including women and children, who tried to oppose these abuses. The scale of the looting gave victims and witnesses alike the feeling that it was a planned operation. It is clear that the Angolan military hierarchy and the Kinshasa authorities have at least tolerated the commission of these various violations. In this context, the mapping team documented the following alleged incidents. On 23rd August 1998, upon arrival in Mwanda, FAA element raped at least 30 women and girls, most of them in Bwamanu neighborhood. In some cases, the military forced family members of victims to applaud during the rapes or face execution. Beginning on 26 August 1998, FAA element summarily executed an unknown number of civilians in the Boma Center. They also raped an unknown number of women and girls. They looted civilians' property, especially in the outlying areas of the city. Beginning on 27 August 1998, FAA element raped 6 shopkeepers and at least 3 girls in the village of Manterne, 19 kilometers from Boma, on the Matadi Road. Around 27 August 1998, in the village of Kinzamvwete, halfway between Boma and Matadi, ASF element killed 45 civilians, including women and children. Beginning on 4 September, ASF element raped an unknown number of women and girls, particularly during sweep operations in the Mvwadu and Kinkanda neighborhood of Matadi city. The military also looted dozens of private residences. Around 6 September in Kimpese, FAA element committed rape and looting on a large scale. In mid-September 1998, the FAA, ZDF, and FAC regained control of Bakongo province. ANC, APR, UPDF troops retreated to Angola to an area under UNITA control before leaving for Rwanda between November and December. During this period, the humanitarian situation remained of great concern due to the extent of looting, including the hospitals, the destruction of major infrastructure, and the restrictions imposed on the freedom of movement of humanitarian personnel in the province by the Kinshasa government. Now we are going to move to Kinshasa and talk about the province of Kinshasa. In late August 1998, ANC, APR, UPDF, and Congolese Army and ZDF soldiers clashed for control of Kinshasa. In this context, the mapping team documented the following alleged incidents. At the end of August 1998, ZDF element bombarded with heavy weapons the communes of Kimbanseke, Masina and Njili, as well as the village of Kingatoko on the border with Congo province, and killed more than 50 civilians. On the night of 27 to 28 August, 282 wounded civilians were admitted to the capital's main hospitals and medical centers. The bombings caused waves of displacement of thousands of people to other communities. ZDF element fired heavy weapons without distinguishing between civilian and military objectives. They have thus affected health units and places of worship. Military authorities often exposed civilians to indiscriminate gunfire by ordering them to stay at home so that ANC, APR, UPDF soldiers could not hide in abandoned homes. Between 28 August and 1st September 1998, fighting between ANC, APR, UPDF, and Congolese Army, ZDF troops resulted in several civilians' deaths, particularly in the commune of Mongafula. On 28 August 1998, the Congolese Army killed at least 2 Red Cross volunteers, including one by smashing his skull while attempting to rescue victims of shelling in the Mintendi and Mbeseke neighborhood of Mongafula commune. In the same incident, they also seriously injured an unknown number of Red Cross volunteers. On August 13, 1998, ANC, APR, UPDF troops took control of the Inga hydroelectric complex in Congo and stopped the dam's turbines. By shutting down the turbines at the Inga Dam for nearly 3 weeks during August and September 1998, ANC, APR, UPDF troops deprived part of Congo province and several neighborhoods of Kinshasa of their electricity and water supplies. They have thus put out of use goods essential to the survival of the population, such as medical centers and General Hospital of Kinshasa. During these 3 weeks, the mortality rate in health centers, especially for children, increased considerably. During the same period, all security forces generally committed with almost total impunity assassinations, killings, extrajudicial executions, rapes, and torture of political opponents and ordinary civilians. Between August 1998 and January 2001, some 50 communications concerning incident in Kinshasa were sent to the government through the mechanism provided for by the Commission on Human Rights, including the Working Group on Enforced or Involuntary Disappearances, the Special Rapporteur on extrajudicial, summary or arbitrary executions. The Special Rapporteur on torture and other cruel, inhuman and degrading treatment or punishment, and the Working Group on arbitrary detention. The incidents are too numerous to be all listed. The mapping team was able to document the following alleged cases presented for illustrative purposes. Between late 1998 and 2001, elements of the Kinshasa government security forces disappeared, tortured, and raped many activists who were members of the UDPS and PALO political parties. The serious violations committed against them most often took place in dungeons of the Rapid Intervention Police, the Directorate of General Intelligence and Special Services at Kinmazière, Ipkin, the ex-Circle, as well as Kan Kokolo. As of 28 October 2000, President Kabila's security services arbitrarily arrested and tortured at least 93 persons, including 60 military personnel and 33 civilians from North Kivu, South Kivu, and Maniema provinces. The victims were accused of preparing a coup d'etat under the leadership of one of the AFDL's founding members, Anselme Masasu Nindaga. Most of the soldiers were detained at Maluku Training Center, Kankokolo, Kanchachi, and Jelem. Some of those detained were summarily executed. Others were tortured to death. Some of the victims remained in detention for more than 3 years and were only released after the promulgation of the decree law on general amnesty. As part of their alliance with the government of Angola, Kinshasa authorities have sought to obstruct the activities of members of the Kabindan independence movement, FLEC, which means Front for the Liberation of Kabinda. For that, the following alleged incidents were documented. From 1998 to 1999, the security forces of the Kinshasa government closed the FLEC offices and carried out numerous arbitrary arrests of Kabindan independence activists. Most of the victims were tortured. Some Kabindan militants have been transferred to Angola. Others are missing to this day. So thank you very much for your attention. We have spent a few 20 minutes together talking about this. So I'm going to stop there for today. I think that is enough. If this is your first time to watch our programs, I will invite you to go to our website, our YouTube channel, Leo Njo Leo, and you can subscribe. Share our videos with a friend and colleagues, And don't forget to click on like at the end of the program. So once again, I'll just remind you that we are here for you, and we are here to share the history and the realities of our country. So subscribe, like, and share. Knowledge is something very important. Let your people learn. Let your people understand that to learn is so important in life. You'll lose nothing by knowing your history, by knowing the history of your country. So you should use it in order to understand the present time, and also to project a better future. Once again, thank you very much. Our program is just across me here, where you can see on Monday, we'll have our programs in Swahili, on Tuesday in Lingala, on Wednesdays in French, and on Thursdays in English. So it was the voice of Odon Bulamba. Thank you again for everything, and hope to see you next time. Let me say goodbye for now, and may God bless the Congo.
Bakwetu, 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 muko wapi? Bakwetu, 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 muko wapi? Mutoto ya mama, miye wabo, muko wapi? Mutoto ya mama, miye wabo, muko wapi? Kaingiyo kuyungulule, leonjoleo, leonjoleo. Leon Joleo, Leon Joleo, Leon Joleo, Leon Joleo, Leon Joleo, Leon Joleo.